Before the break, we asked our studio audience, is it irreverent to consider religion fun? And 4% thought yes. 96% said no. Making a living and supporting a family on comedy is not an easy gig, but Toronto's Jay Martin has figured it out, laughing all the way to the bank. Please welcome Jay Martin.
Thank you.
It's great to have you with us. You know, the last place I knew to buy tickets for one of your events was Island Wars. What is with you guys in the Island Wars?
The Island Wars, Trinidad versus Jamaica, the Caribbean thing. It's like the Caravana Festival here. Everyone wants to be represented. They want to hear their own island in their song. And we figured two of the most patriotic countries are islands in Canada now are Trinidad and Jamaica. So a friend of mine, John Paul, and I decided, let's do a comedy show. And we do it every Mother's Day and donate proceeds to cancer. But we go at each other's country in a clean battle of wit, and it's hilarious. And it's unbelievable.
There's a great loyalty people have for it. Even though they're Canadians, they just love their island.
Well, they love their island, and you know, during intermission, we sell patties and dubbas. And
so what is the difference between the two big, like between Jamaica and Trinidad? What am I not getting?
What you're not getting is this. Get this. In Trinidad, they use the steel pan. They use the big steel oil drums to play music. In Jamaica, we use it to jerk chicken. So it's a better thing for us. We figured chicken is better than music. It's fun. But different accents, different ways of being, but we're a lot alike. We're a lot the same. So everyone looks forward to the show. It sells out every year. Every Mother's Day we do it. It gets bigger and bigger. I think over the years, a good 16,000 people have seen the show.
Okay, you do believe comedy is hardwired into us, that it's actually something God put into us. Why do you feel that?
Definitely. I think comedy is therapeutic. Just like we have people that fight off diseases to build their immune system as children, you know what I mean, breast milk, and they get immune system. I think God gives us comedy to deal with the inner depressions and demons and the lives we have to face on a day-to-day basis. I think that's what it's there for. I think we're remnants of God, we're an umbrella like God, and I think God has to have a sense of humor. What would I be doing here?
You come from a very intense church background, though. You are a Seventh-day Adventist.
Yes.
That means you go to church on Saturday, the rest of us go on Sunday.
Yes.
I really wouldn't have thought that would be a background that would develop comedy.
Well, I think when we go to church, whether it be on Saturday or Sunday, we have so many things that we make fun of, like from the way our pastors preach, the way we collect offerings. There's a lot of funny things in church. And me being a child in church, I would sit there quietly and I would amuse myself with little things around church. And, you know, it did start by going on Sabbath. It was Saturday. A lot of people didn't understand it.
You can't do sports on Saturday.
No.
You don't go shopping on Saturday.
No. From sunset to sunrise to sunset, it's the same thing for 24 hours. So as a young lad, I used to play soccer. I was very good at it. I wasn't allowed to try out for the rep team because they played on Saturday. And I remember one time I told my mother, Mom, I want to play in the finals. They need me. And the finals was a Saturday, and we ended up going into penalty shots and losing. And she was like, you see, God don't want you to go to play soccer on Saturday. So I was like, oh my goodness.
She was right after all.
Yes.
You also have beliefs about vegetarianism. Do you honor God with what you eat?
I strongly believe we honor God with what we eat. There are verses in the Bible that says foods that we should eat based on the way of animals' feet are set. And we don't eat pork. We don't eat scavengers. So we eat like any other types of meat. But our religion would like to encourage you more to be a vegetarian. So a lot of wheats, glutens.
Yeah, you guys brought us the breakfast cereal. Mr. Kellogg was the first original Seventh-day Adventist.
Mr. Kellogg was an Adventist?
You betcha.
That's great! Like Tony the Tiger. That's awesome.
Your mother just really wrapped her faith around you guys. Her Christian faith was so important that she wanted you to carry it on. When did you hit the point where you said, that was Mother's, now this is what I do with God?
Well, you know, that's the testimony you face, because when you're dealing with hard times, especially as a young man, I fell into why me. Spent a lot of times on my knees in tears as asking God, what do I do now? What's my sense of direction? And before my mother passed, she always said, I wanted you to be something, responsible and leave our name proud in our family. And as though, even though the religion was a very strong point in my life, I realized that I had to realize what was out there. I had to learn what was out there. So I took my path to figure out different religions as well as different faiths people had. And I realized there are a lot of similarities in different faiths for God.
Why did you settle on Jesus Christ?
I would have never made it out. I would have never made it out. I grew up in the town Malton with single parent home, and then she passes. And if I didn't have my friends and a faith for God, I honestly would believe I would be caught up in everything else but that. There's a strong faith that's within me, and it shows when I walk on stage, when I walk into anywhere I'm performing. Honestly, I would never have made it out if I didn't have a faith in God. I think Jesus helped me. I think that and the governing belief of heaven and my mother up there looking over on me, this little boy made wonders. I had so many different career paths I could have taken, music, but everywhere there was always that temptation of evil presence. And if I did not have that guidance that my mom gave me from a young age, I don't know. I don't even want to think about where I'd be, Lauren.
All right, Jay Martin, we can find out more about you on our website. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, why does it seem like God is not funny? 2 reasons when context returns.
We want you to be a part of our studio audience. If you're in the Toronto area, contact us.
So why did we need to ask, is God funny? Well, here's 2 reasons. First, understanding God is good news. And God has engaged the human race with a divine repair job. And laughter, God says, is a good medicine. But perhaps it is, as Voltaire said, God is a comedian playing to an audience too afraid to laugh. Secondly, a follower of God can find, as Jesus did, an irony in the hope that God has for us and the way we've made things. We're a mess, and yet we have our eyes on God's better ideals. A mess and a fool for God, all in the same breath. It's a conclusion that should help us lighten up. Well, Father James Martin has written Between Heaven and Mirth to help us navigate this puzzle. You can either order the book with us, or you can also send us your best joke or feedback on today's show. Call the viewer feedback line, send us a message via email, Facebook, or Twitter at Context TV. I'm Lorna Dueck. From all of us at Context, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week exploring more of life beyond the headlines.